We're back with another Age of Mythology Retold casted game, and today actually we are watching from the player's point of view, so let's get that back to normal. We are watching the Ra Izumato, who is really creeping up the ranks. He's a 2k rated player now in the, I think that's top 10 if you're 2k currently, which is pretty crazy. And he's going in with the Ra up against Aces the Rapple, playing as Tsukiyomi. Tsukiyomi, one of the new Japanese gods. So we're going to be seeing what Izumato can do up against him. The Rapple was no slouch with Japan. He has just currently won the last tournament, which was Gerbot's Japanese Joust, playing a very mean Japan, very good Amaterasu and Tsukiyomi. So we'll see what he can do there. But I wanted to kind of showcase what to do up against Japan. I haven't watched this game, but Izumato is, I mean, he's climbing elo like absolutely crazy. So he must know something that others don't. And straight away, so he is playing Ra, which was considered quite weak in the last patch. Whether or not there's been some buffs that I kind of missed during the patch notes, it was a pretty long one. But something that he's doing straight away, which I haven't seen Ra players do, and it's not something that I do, he sat on this monument to the villagers straight away. Normally, what we see players doing is going over to the food for a considerable amount of time. I mean, some players do it for about a minute, some players do it for 2-3 minutes, and then move over to this monument to the villagers. The idea is this circle is like a priest that's empowering everything. Whereas if the pharaoh's here, then it's like pharaoh power, which is slightly better. I think a priest is like 70% of the value of a pharaoh. So it's still very, very good, but he's deciding to empower this entire time. Looks like his priest is straight out having a look what's going on. He does find the unit line of sight, +6 relic if he wants to pick that one up later, and has found a stray Miko. So very nice play with the obelisks there. This Miko is getting 0.9 favor per second, so you want to shut her down at some point. Be interesting to see actually what this kind of Ra matchup is into Tsukiyomi, because Tsukiyomi, at least early on, feels like a Poseidon. He feels like an Odin, feels like someone that can put on a lot of early pressure with that new moon god power, and you can drop that down on either the temple if you want the nice spider ladies and the extra kitsune speed for your horses, or you can just put it straight on your stable, medium stable units straight away, and the extra speed for your Naginata riders. So we'll see if he's going to have to deal with that. And then I assume you would go into Ptah, go Spearman would be the right call. Maybe he'll go Bast. Bast is kind of like the eco god now. It used to be very good with the Sphinx raids. That was one of the main reasons that you would go Bast. You would get 2 or 3 Sphinx out. You would be running around the map. You'd be putting on the pressure. But I mean, the Sphinx have been nerfed. I don't even know how many times now. I think it's at least 3. It's pretty crazy. They've been nerfed. Their speed's been nerfed. Their cost got increased. And I think Eclipse has been nerfed at least twice too. So Bast, not what she used to be. And then we've got Wall and Tower hit points here, which is not bad if you're expecting some early aggression. And he is deciding to go through Ptah. I think that one just makes a lot of sense. You can get some of the upgrades for your spearmen. I mean, I think it's pierce armor for your spearmen, the leather frame shield. So maybe not good up against those horses, but still does have electrum bullets also, and the extra axeman attack, and your cheaper farms. Shifting sands is also just super valuable. So unfortunately, this obelisk doesn't spot the town center, but I doubt that town center is going to be grabbed, just in case Izumato over here is going to be whacking up a cheeky obelisk that probably isn't going to get caught by the Rapple if he goes for it. Whereas this obelisk is spotting the very corner of this settlement nicely, plus this one, so he will see if a town center is going to get grabbed. Especially as Ra has historically been quite a defensive kind of eco-boomy god. So whether or not that's what Rapple thinks he's going to be playing up against, don't know how much knowledge he's really going to have in the Ra versus Japan matchup, but he's getting his Kitsune in here, and will spot this barracks coming up from Izumato. Is going double barracks, so not hiding that this is what he's doing. Looks like the Kitsune is going to come along, do one cheeky hit. Actually didn't even go for the hit. Priest is going to scare that one away. And another cheeky obelisk. Going to be spotting the elks. I assume this priest will run away at some point, unless he's going to just empower it for the time being to see a little bit further, which is a unusual play that we don't see, but definitely a nice one. As the obelisk here is spotting the stable coming down, so it is going to be that Tsukiyomi stable, going through Inari Okami, and that's what we've seen quite a lot of so far. Looks like the granary is just going to be put up here. I guess he couldn't drag the Auroch fully under. Right, just kind of got caught. Sometimes that does happen, so he's got to be cognizant of it. The obelisk's also in range of this monument to the villagers, so you actually get extra line of sight for this. Like, it's absolutely huge. If you were to compare this to what this one can see, it's absolutely massive. It's like a priest is empowering this the whole time. Also, a priest still sat down here. It's like a couple of spearmen did come out for that early shrine. I mean, we saw that the early shrine was there. The Kitsune are here, but I don't think they're going to be able to take this fight. One was extremely weak, and they are not the tankiest units anyway. Maybe just trying to bait Izumato back, but he knows better than that one. And it's kind of massing up a bit of a spearman army here. It's getting that leather frame shield. So what is it? What's the exact percentage? I think it's 15%. Yeah, 15% more pierce armor. Which will be nice if there are any archers about, or some watchtowers that maybe he's going to want to dive underneath. The thing is about this Jorogumo, though, is she's very good at single target damage, so she'll be able to one-shot one of these spearmen for sure, or very close to it. Looks like the Miko from Rappel did run away, so nice play from him. He's going to lose his shrine, so 75 wood on that shrine, but not the end of the world. And in come the raids, as we thought might come. The Naginata Riders. Got the Spearman in. Could possibly snipe a Slinger, but Slinger nicely garrisoned inside that Sentry Tower and should jump back in. Unfortunately, is going to get caught out. The Priests aren't healing up this guy either. So Rappel getting some free snipes. Not something that you really want to get done. Not enough units down here to defend. Looks like there's also something happening up this top side. And it is the Jorogumo just coming over on her own. And it is going to scare those spearmen away. But the Wadgets are also going to catch out some of the fast units from Rappel, running straight into the spearmen. He knew they were there too, but he is just going to slide past. So not a problem there. Probably kind of equalish trade, I guess. I think Rappel probably got the better of that engagement. Managed to get a spearman up this top side and a Slinger down here, plus another spearman. See what Izumado's doing with his base. So the obelisk play really, really nice. A couple of little wooden walls coming up, but hasn't completely walled himself in like we do see other players doing. It does cost a lot, but it is worth it. And yeah, the spearman gets one shot. Absolutely brutal. But she is pretty fragile. The Spider Lady is going to manage to go down, and now this leather frame shield is going to be paying dividends going up against the Yumi archers. The Yumi archers should normally do pretty well here, but that plus 15% on the hack or on the pierce, or minus 15% vulnerability should say. I think it gives 8. I think they start off with 20 normally. It's funny how the maths works for these armors, but winning that fight pretty handily. And then he's got the priests here. Always nice to have a few priests if you're playing any of the Egyptians or our ISIS set. Just bring a couple of priests in your army, then you just get super value from healing up everything. Then the more you have, just the easier it is to heal up. You know, you can just heal up a lot quicker. They can also target multiple ones at once. Looks like there is a Shifting Sands. Is it going on this backside? As soon as the heal finishes, Shifting Sands, unfortunately, it's going to go straight into that swampland. But there are some fast units that should be able to get out. 2 definitely go down, 3 go down, 4 go down. They're all getting grabbed, and the Wadget is going to go down also. So probably didn't get as much value as he hoped there, but does force out that God Power, where potentially in a bigger fight you could lose more units to that swampland Kappas. It's going to heal up the Wadget. The Wadget can't run away anymore, though, and it's going to get sniped by that Bushy. So nice play from Rappel. Does need to run away. And I think, yeah, there was a nice idea with the Shifting Sands. I think also the priest got caught on the wrong side, which does happen sometimes. Maybe if he went for just the food villagers instead, but he is going to turn around and stay. It looks like the villagers getting a little bit too complacent staying out. So Rappel is deciding to turn around and shank, though. It doesn't look like he's going to lose any villagers. Tries to do a bit of micro to keep that spearman alive. Does manage to take out one villager there. Takes out another one. He's going to lose a lot of the army, though. He's trading pretty well, to be honest, though. Potentially could heal up this guy. And the healing micro is coming in. Very nice. And yeah, these Yumi archers are just not getting the job done. Gonna snipe down another archer. And then the spearmen are going to come in from this side where Rappel's army isn't going to be able to snipe down even more units. It's just a case of, again, just the Egyptian spearmen just on point. We saw this a lot from Set when spearmen, I think spearmen have been nerfed maybe 2-3 months ago. But before that, they were running amok. We're seeing that it's still possible now. Nice bit of priest juking micro. While this is going on, of course, if you've got the pressure on, you can be out on the map wherever you want. This map is Tundra, so Tundra has lots of food to grab. And Izamato's going straight for it. It looks like Rappel went through Hachiman also, probably why he didn't have enough units to actually defend that. So Izamato hits a pretty nice timing. Also getting his Shadoof tech. Shadoof did get buffed, so this comes in a lot quicker. He says 14 seconds, but that's because it's within a granary, within the range of this monument to the villagers. I think it's 20 seconds now, where it was 40. It used to be really annoying when you wanted to get your farms and you would think about that one and you would have to wait 40 seconds before they're nice and cheap. But Izamato probably isn't going to be getting farms for the time being. But anyway, it is going to be ready. Rappel does have that Shogun, so you do have to worry about him. He is a very tanky unit, but he is a cavalry unit. So the spearmen do have that 1.5 times damage multiplier. But the more damage the Shogun does, the more samurais he spawns. And the samurais do counter the spearmen pretty hard. So you do have to watch out for that one. We've actually seen when the Shogun is on a myth unit, he spawns a unit nearly every hit. It's pretty crazy. It's like if he does 3 hits, he's probably spawned 2 samurai. It's pretty disgusting. Here he is, 563 HP. Does have all the copper weapons, armor, shields. Probably going to use that new moon on the armory. It's what we've seen quite a few players do, and it does make sense, and we are going to see that one. I think Izamato is probably just assuming that that's happened. It just seems really good value. You get all the bronze upgrades, and you get ballistics, so it costs quite a considerable amount. So there's a couple of myth units going on a raid there, but Izamato's spearmen are going to be able to catch that one out. Does need to bring his units back because the gold mine is wide open. He's not heroic age yet, so doesn't have a chance to drop down a Migdal stronghold. You do really have to watch out for that one. So the units are slowly coming back. There are some spearmen that are being sent on a raid, but just enough back here to actually defend this one. But the Tengu is going in, and he's pretty far, so the villagers are going to go down rather quick. Shogun's been left on his own, though. You definitely don't want to leave him there. You want him to be getting the value in a big fight. So nice catch out just to get 400, get him down to 400 HP. Even more. You can't actually heal him back up either. And I think Rappel's going to try and go for that kind of kiting micro. And actually, Izamato is going to treat him like a son of Osiris and just say, I'm just going to sack my units, just defend as much as I can. And I don't even... Did he even spawn 1 samurai? He spawned 1. That is the least value Shogun that I've seen. But Rappel is trying to get some good value from his Yumi horse archers, and he does. Need to back up there. But slingers are an option. Slingers do have the divine damage with the Patara upgrade also, so going to be a pretty good counter to these Yumi horse archers. The thing is, it's similar to fighting chariots, though, is that chariots, they're just so much faster than your slingers, so they can kind of somewhat space you. But these only have 15 range, whereas the slingers do outrange them, so it isn't exactly the same as that chariot archer matchup. There's the normal daimyo hero. He's definitely not as good as the Shogun. He's going to go down pretty quickly. Looks like Rappel is probably out of his gold mine back at home. You would assume 14 minutes in. I mean, he's probably wanted to be out for a solid while. So Izamato does manage to stop that one up this top side. Needs to check down the bottom. It's worth getting a priest to just go around, put some things in. Looks like Shifting Sands coming down. Shifting Sands coming down to this gold mine. Absolutely perfect timing as Rappel's army runs out. And the villagers decide to go the other way rather than through this wall. And the slingers are probably going to lose that trade, but Izamato's got his eyes on a bigger prize, which is these commoners running back. And the villager numbers is just ridiculous. Some really nice spearman raids this game. Also, didn't even mention that he's paying to use the Shifting Sands too. So not really building many myth units. I think he built one Wadget early, which is nice for the extra DPS. But now the Wadgets are just kind of a detriment because they're such glass cannon units. And Rappel thinks that he can bring his units out, but Izumado's ready. He's got his spearmen, has these spearmen back here, and it takes a lot of skill to be able to get two groups of spearmen doing raids, and unfortunately is going to lose some of those to that watchtower. But they definitely did their job, getting down to 22 villagers. Even might be worth just sending a labourer down here, dropping a barracks or something, or even just walling it off. But now the obelisks will be coming up. It looks like Sobek's pre-queued, but I don't think he wants to head there right now. I think the best solution is to just get more raiders in, just get max units to kind of put the pressure on. Because what the Rappel needs to do is he needs some units to actually push out to get a gold mine. So if you just bring more units in, it's going to be ideal. Obviously, Sobek eventually will be very good. You get your Locust Swarm, which can help push back, and then your very defensive Crocodile. The Tengus are now going to be the choice. Actually, when I did a cast with Soup the other day, he said that the Tengus are just so good if you are gold starved, because they cost 200 wood, 15 favor, and they're not the best units, but they're just so cheap because wood is just abundant. You can just get it anywhere. Whereas food, you can get pushed off of that. You know, you need to build farms, and you don't want to build loads of farms. And then gold. So obviously, the normal starving that we see is the gold starve. The Tengu, also the jump just feels a little bit off. It's like a new bite which takes a little bit of time to land. Looks like Rappel really wants to go for this gold mine for whatever reason. There has been a lot of fighting though. So Bushido tier 3 is in, so that means everything on the Tsukiyomi side is heavy. So that is one issue with staying classical, is that you don't have access to heavy units being Izumato. And if he fights for so long, Rappel might eventually get champion. And champion units against medium, it doesn't matter what the counters are, the champion ones are probably going to win that one. It's containing very nice though. Priests are getting sniped down though. That is the power of these Yumi horse archers. The slingers, again, because they're classical, they also don't have ballistic, so it won't be as good as the Yumi horse archers are in general, just because they're just so disgusting units. It's like the spearmen are just kind of just keep checking, not overcommitting, just bringing them in. And I think Izumato said he's got enough units. He does want this Sobek at some point. Only buying some slingers, which makes sense. It's the food which he's a little bit short of to get to the next stage, because he's been spending so much on these spearmen. They do cost 50 food, which in general they're cheap units, but the 50 food is their biggest cost. But with 28 villagers hunting, he should be able to get there very, very quickly. I imagine it's just a forced dump kind of thing, because they do have their husbandry, so they can carry 30 resources. So as soon as they all dump, he's going to have so much. It's worth a forced dump now, to be honest, because it just takes a while for them to get up to that 30, especially when they're moving to different huntables, and you just see it's just going to skyrocket in. Manages to get up to the next stage. Yeah, next stage, and has 400 food. Whenever you're in that situation where you have husbandry and you know that your villagers have enough, just force dump. It's just so much easier. You know that you're needed. Oh, it's like a tiny little spearman array. Look at this tech with the priest sat in the corner with his obelisk, meaning that the shifting sands comes in. That is absolutely brutal. This is the sort of tech that we need to see from these Ra players. Looks like the Tengu is going to distract the spearmen. That does happen when the spearmen are on attack move. They just go for the closest unit. If you're not paying attention to micro it, you have to almost micro around it. You have to click to the side of it and then do something, and then go for the villagers. And I think he's going to clear them up. Just need to bring his priest over if he can take that out. Maybe he doesn't want the priest to be seen. Rappel trying to get some sort of value somewhere, knows that he's a lot of villagers behind, so needs to get some good raids going. Looks like he's just going to just use that. Yeah, the priest is going to eventually come over, and the priest will deal with it. I don't know if the Rapple's seen this obelisk. Can we see from his point of view? I know we're not watching from his, but he has actually seen it now. There we go. Back over to the point of view that we're watching. Does manage to get through Sobek. Has enough to even get to the Mythic Age if he really wants to. Enough resources. Maybe that's a bit overkill. Can just spend his resources, get his heavy spearman in, drop a Migdal stronghold down somewhere. That is exactly what he's doing. Secure his next pack of Aurochs, his next gold mine. Got a spearman on this side. Very, very nice. I don't like leaving spearmen just on their own, because what I like to do a lot is use the shift, then hit the military button, and then it brings these guys over. So what you can do is just hit this button here. For me, it's V, and it's just to patrol, and then they won't get caught up in your select all idle units army. It's definitely a good button to use also is the idle military button, because otherwise you just get stuff left at home that you don't realize, and it could be sat there just the whole game. Now the upgrades are actually coming in. I think Isamato wasn't sure if he wanted to go for these, so kind of questioning himself a little bit, even though he's in such a good position. It's just heavy spearman makes absolute sense. Also seeing these units, seeing that there's so many Tengus out that he probably hasn't managed to sneak a gold mine somewhere. So these ones are just about to finish up on this side. Of course, the priest will come over. Also, there's only been 2 monuments. He could even go for another Shifting Sands if he had a 3rd monument. There goes the Locust, but Locust against fast units isn't really the best, but it is going to force all of them back. It means they can't stay in this fight, and the Tenkus might actually get caught out, even bringing his Pharaoh into... Heavy Slinger's probably coming in. Absolutely is. And just going straight for it. Got his watchtower up, and Isamato does win that. Just the Shifting Sands tech with the priest. This is what it's all about. I mean, this is going to work against anyone that you're really playing against. It doesn't have to be the Japanese, but what a play.